The Xbox One X is going to be the most powerful console ever made, and it's out in less than a month. The PS4 Pro came out last year, and while that's had a good year to enjoy the title of the most powerful console ever, asterisk, it's about to lose that title. Microsoft has now revealed what it thinks of the Pro and the timing of its arrival compared to their new console, and they totally weren't copying Sony, you guys.
Xbox One X is the new, more powerful version of the Xbox One. It's out on November the 7th, and Microsoft promises it will be the world's most powerful console ever. Did I get enough grunt in that? The PS4 Pro came out around the same time last year, and for a year at least, Sony has been able to claim that it had the most powerful console ever made. They just had to put a little asterisk at the end. Well, with the release of the Xbox One X now on the horizon, Microsoft has revealed what they think of the PS4 Pro and how Sony began teasing it just before Microsoft teased the Xbox One X at E3 2016. In an interview with MCV, Xbox marketing boss Albert Penello said, "We don't have insight into what their plans are, so when they announced the Pro, I was as surprised as anyone else was. I give them a lot of credit for what they did there. This business tends to diverge and converge in interesting ways, and obviously we don't know what they're doing. They had a different idea in mind for what they wanted to build, so in retrospect it may seem like we were reacting to what they were doing, but people in the business know that this has been in the works for years, and we have to lock the specs in years in advance." There's like 4 sentences I've read there. Like, we definitely weren't copying.
We didn't copy them.
Definitely we're not copying. We had it. We definitely had our plans years in advance. Imagine planning your hardware for a console years in advance. Like, as a PC gamer, I feel it seems crazy to me.
Well, all of this is completely hilarious to a PC gamer, isn't it? The most powerful console ever still ain't shit on the most mid-range PC ever. It is definitely true that all he's saying here is, we didn't copy Sony, and yeah, Sony, nah, didn't copy them. Oh, Sony, no, didn't copy them. That's 4 lines of that right there. The end result is that they've come up with a very, very powerful console, and that will please a lot of gamers. So Penello was surprised and impressed with the PS4 Pro, and yes, all right, Albert, you weren't just copying. Of course, we believe you, mate. We believe you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The Xbox One X is definitely a more powerful system than the PS4 Pro and should be capable of true or native 4K resolution, while the PS4 Pro relies on dynamic or checkerboard 4K, which is just not as good. Trust me. Penello explained why it is Microsoft's gone in with both feet on the One X and said, "We saw the 4K shift coming. We don't jump on every technology that comes along. We pretty much skipped 3D, if you remember, in the 360 era, so we really believe in 4K. We were convinced, and we wanted to create a box that was the showcase device for 4K televisions." Those are pretty interesting comments. I think the fact that he's right, they didn't do anything with 3D, and who would? I mean, it's... So they see something in 4K, obviously Sony sees something in 4K as well, and PC gamers have been enjoying 4K, those with the higher end systems. It just adds something to the experience, and they've obviously put a lot of money into that idea, whereas 3D they just completely abandoned.
It is a shame that they don't put as much weight into 60 frames a second. All gamers know that 60 frames a second is better than 4K. 4K is just a marketing ploy. It's just to try and get your parents to buy you a console for Christmas. Or think, oh look, this one, little Johnny, this one does 4K. You like this one, right? Yeah, okay, but you know, it's not for the gamers really, is it?
So he pretty much says he was impressed and also surprised by the PS4 Pro. The thing with the PS4 Pro that is really interesting is how they just kind of announced it, and then 2 months later, like, it's out. That's a very confident move, and it's very different to what Microsoft are doing with the Xbox, which has been well over a year, and that's more of like a traditional console announcement, like you got to wait a long time and then it comes out, whereas PS4 Pro was more of like an iterative console, which is what it is. It is basically just a PS4 but a bit better, whereas maybe that reflects the fact that the Xbox One X is going to be a huge leap forward compared to the Xbox One, and that's why they've been, you know, building it up slowly over the course of a year rather than announce it and then bring it out 2 months later.
Microsoft just seems like the school bully at this point, like copying PlayStation or Sony's homework and trying to steal our pocket money in the form of microtransactions in Forza 7 recently.
But then when the teacher asks, he's like, "Oh, I really like Timmy. Yeah, Timmy's great. Timmy's my best friend. I was surprised with Timmy's work at how good it was." But everyone in the classroom knew that we weren't copying.
It emerged last week that retailers, at least here in the UK, are a little concerned about stock levels for the Xbox One X. In another report by MCV, the site said that in speaking with 5 UK retailers, it sounds like demand is high for the new system, but stock levels are worrying some in the business. The website says Microsoft's upcoming console is looking to be in extremely short supply, based on the independent retailers that MCV has spoken with. There was a general feeling that stock stock was in short supply when compared to the Xbox One's launch.
Harvey Eagle of Xbox UK acknowledged that there is limited stock available, but seemed to insist that this is pretty much par for the course. He said...
Sorry, Mike, I just stopped you right there. You mentioned Harvey Eagle, which is a golfing term, right? An eagle, you might know that.
I don't.
But then you said par for the course at the end of that. You wrote this script, right?
Total accident.
Like two golfing-related expressions in one sentence that contradict one another. You might want to check that in future, Mike.
I am bad at all sports and therefore know nothing about golf.
Eagle and par, just like the two.
What is an eagle?
Two different.
What is a golf?
Two under par, man.
Harvey Eagle said, quote, "We are seeing very high demand for Xbox One X, and while we are doing our best to keep up with that demand, as with any new console launch, there is a limited amount of stock available." Another major retailer wasn't that concerned about stock levels, and they told MCV, "All console launches have tight stock followed by replenishment. This will be the same again. No worries. We have been there and done it before. Pre-order or miss out is the mantra. Most consumers know this." Tight supply, I guess that guy's right. Whoever the last kind of spokesperson for that retail chain, we don't know who they are. They're probably right. I mean, this feels like an obvious thing, all right? Some independent retailers are worried that the stock is too small, but it is a high-end system. It's not for all the gamers. It's going to have a more limited appeal than the normal Xbox One did, and it is like, you know, an advancement of the system that already exists. It's not like a completely new generation, is it?
I don't know, Mike. I think I prefer Harvey Eagle's take on things, because if anyone's got his eagle eye on the situation, it's going to be him, right? No.
So that wasn't a golf.
I got the laugh.
I was looking for. I was like,
eagle eye. See, Harvey Eagle is eagle-eyed.
I thought it was going to be a golf pun.
No,
it was
no,
just
man.
a bird of prey pun.
No, this is a multi-level pun. This is like
National Geographic jokes.
You're welcome.
That's today's gaming video. So there you go, that's the latest on the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro. What do you think, guys? What do you think about the sales of the Xbox One X? Is it going to outsell the Pro? Let us know down in the comments. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this every day. There's another video right there which you can watch right now, and of course the link to Patreon if you want to support the channel. See you next time.